Grace and peace. This is Bobby James Smith. I'm on here tonight on live. Um, Today I wanted to talk about don't give up. And the scripture that I have in mind is Romans 8:28. And it says something to this effect that for those who are loving God, that all things work together for good for those that are called according to his purpose. So today I want to talk about don't give up. And I want to frame the conversation, by telling you a quick story. There was a young girl, about 12 or 13, who had to go down south to stay with Big Mama. And she was living with her in the winter, and Big Mama didn't play that about, turning the heat up and making you comfortable. She kept the heat real low. And so, she's a young girl, not used to that. And one day she came to Big Mama and said, Big Mama, you got to help me out here. It's cold, and I can't take it anymore. I need a quilt. And so Big Mama said, okay, baby, we're going to make a quilt. Just Big Mama and you, we're going to make a quilt. And so the girl was excited and said, we're going to go to the store and we're going to get this material and we're going to get some nice cotton or some wool so we can stuff it and we're going to make a nice quilt. Oh, I'm so excited, Big Mama. Big Mama said, whoa, wait a minute, baby. Big Mama didn't say all that about going to the store and buying stuff. Well, Big Mama got plenty of stuff around the house. She said, you do? Well, I got some old blankets in here. Let's see, I got a couple of old pair of heavy drapes and a couple of old lumberjack jackets that, your granddaddy used to wear. And we can get some hay and we can stuff the patches and we can make that quilt. And the little girl thought about it for a second and she looked at Grandmama and said, Grandma, that's going to be one ugly quilt. And Grandma laughed at her and said, baby, the quilt may be ugly. But I tell you one thing, that at night when it's cold and you ain't got nothing else to keep you warm, I guarantee you're going to reach for that quilt and you're not going to care how ugly it is because it's going to do what it was designed to do. Family, it's the same way with our lives and what God does with our lives. Some of us are thinking, my life isn't worth much. And my life has been ugly. It's been full of traumas. It's been full of disappointments and disasters and all kind of things happening. My life is not worth much. And, sometimes I just feel like throwing in the towel. Well, all things work together for good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purposes. So I know you can't see it in the Greek, but I've looked at it in the Greek, and it really should read something closer to God is working all things out together for the good of you. Not something that he has done or will do in the future. He is doing it. As fast as life comes at us and throws ugliness at us, As fast as we make messes and do disappointing things, God is at the same time sitting with his sewing machine, and he is taking these ugly patches and he is working them together in a way that makes our life do what it's supposed to do, to make our life usable for him. Do you know that he called us for a purpose and called us into fellowship with him so that he could get something very specific out of us? Yeah, I know one thing we can't do. We can't change the patches that we've given God to sew with. You know, we can't change the patches that life has given us and that God has to weave together into something that is usable by us. But the good news is that God adds some patches himself. And when he adds the patches, he sews them in strategic places in our lives that takes some of those negative events and some of those failures and disappointments, and he takes it in a way to where he separates and puts some distance between them so that we can start to enjoy the life that we have. So that we can start to see some of the purpose that God has put into us. And I know some of us are saying that, just so much has happened and, so much bad has happened that, I just can't see the good, and I refuse to see where he is working everything together. All I can see is what I can feel. Some of us, all we can see about God's handiwork in our life is what we have felt. The disappointment we have felt, the hurt we have felt, the time people have used us and we have felt, the time when we gave everything and got nothing in return. Sometimes all we can see is what we feel. And that's too bad. Because if we just take one step back, we'll see that we made it. And so you may say, Bobby, what made it to where? Where am I at? You made it to wherever you are right now. Because chances are, if you're feeling like your life may not be as usable as you would like it to be, you probably should have died somewhere back further. You probably should have met disaster and lost everything a long time ago. But you made it to wherever you are. Let's start right there. Then you look at your quilt and you see, oh my God, when did he slip some love in here? When did he slip some compassion in here? When did he slip a helping hand in here? Maybe it's a friend who has stuck close to you, even though you don't see why. It is not what he will do. It is not what he has done, but it is what he is doing and will keep doing. So remember, just as fast as life comes at us, God is sitting at his sewing machine, and he is working and arranging those patches along with the ones that he adds in so that we can have a life that is usable and worth living. And why does he do it? He does it because he has a purpose that he has invested in each of us. A purpose that we will not escape, and a purpose that he will bring to life, that he will bring to fruition in us. All you got to do is hold on and don't give up. God bless you.